This teacher handed a student a jar before every class. He asked the kid to tap it every 15 seconds. He made a bet with a group of students who never paid attention. If they stayed quiet for the entire period, he would chug a whole carton of milk in one go. The students just wanted to see him throw up. So for the first time, they actually worked together. Whenever someone was tempted to cause trouble, the others stopped him right away. As time ticked by, the milk on the desk disappeared, and the notes on the chalkboard grew. The students didn't even realize what was happening. They had unwittingly paid attention through the entire class. Some even raised their hands to answer questions. Because of this one teacher, the worst class in school became the top honors class. But just when Mr. Clark thought he could keep teaching, he was fired. The reason? He refused the principal's plan to raise tuition. The parents wanted him to stay, but the principal insisted on letting him go. In the end, Clark had no choice but to leave for New York to look for a job. But reality hit him hard. Schools in the big city didn't want a teacher from the countryside. To stay close to the job he loved, he worked part-time while searching for an opening. One day, on his way to an interview, he saw a teacher arguing with a student. He rushed over to calm them down. The conflict ended only when the principal showed up. The frustrated teacher stormed out and quit right there.
You can have the little bastards. I can start right now.
After reading Clark's impressive record, the principal offered him the honors class, but Clark was looking at the classroom across the hall. No one was watching that room. The kids inside were running wild. Everything they did showed years of bad behavior. The principal never expected Clark to choose that class. He explained that 6 teachers had already quit because of these kids, but Clark refused to change his mind. He believed every struggling student was just a child who had been left behind. But his confidence didn't bring him luck immediately. On the first day, the students gave him a harsh welcome.
Shamika, don't do that.
Shamika was the biggest troublemaker in the class. With her stirring things up, the room exploded into chaos. The classroom was a mess. Even the janitor seemed unsure if Clark could handle them. After Clark cleaned everything up, he walked outside and found graffiti all over his car. But with years of teaching experience, he knew every problem child had a hidden story. So he started visiting their homes one by one, just as he suspected. The kids came from families with serious issues. One student was only 12 but had to take care of 3 younger siblings. Another came from a home where girls were completely ignored.
I like to read, especially when
Quiet ladki. Men are talking, okay?
Clark realized they didn't hate learning. They were shaped by the difficult homes they grew up in. After all, parents are a child's first teachers. To help his students change, Clark prepared a surprise. He painted the classroom walls with fresh colors. He wanted to show them the right way to use paint, not the way they used it on his car. But the kids didn't appreciate it. Even the principal thought he was being ridiculous. In front of the whole class, he scolded Clark.
My school, my rules, my way.
Clark had little authority to begin with. Being humiliated made it even worse. Shamika didn't give him any respect either. She was having fun with her friends, but the moment she saw Clark, she walked away. Their rejection hit him hard. At lunch, his students charged into the cafeteria like wild horses. They were nothing like the orderly honors class next door. These bad habits ran deep. A female teacher told Clark that he could quit if it became too much, but Clark wasn't someone who quit easily. He set new rules for the class. First, we are a family. Second, we respect each other. Third, we line up before and after class. But the kids were used to doing whatever they wanted. They ignored him completely. As soon as the bell rang, they rushed to the door, but the door was locked. Clark had shut it before class ended. With no choice, they formed a line, annoyed and impatient. When Clark looked away, Shamika slipped to the front. Once he noticed, he stopped the whole line. He reminded them that rules matter. If one person breaks them, the whole family takes responsibility. Pressed by her classmates, Shamika backed up for the first time. She was irritated, but she went to the end of the line. To Clark, this was a major win. He thought things were finally improving, but on Monday, he walked into school full of hope only to realize he was wrong. Everything he had worked on was destroyed. The mess in the room showed how hard they were fighting against the rules. It crushed him. No one admitted what they had done. No one finished the homework he assigned. Shamika even turned around with a proud smirk and whispered to her friend. Her defiant attitude pushed Clark to the edge. He stormed out of the room and hurried out of the school. For the first time in his teaching career, he thought about giving up. He vented to his friend. He was a teacher who believed in rational education, yet a group of kids made him lose control. He began to doubt his good intentions. Maybe not every student could be saved, but his friend encouraged him not to give up on his ideals over a few setbacks. Trying something new might lead to unexpected results. His friend's words inspired him. He called in the student who loved playing cards. He played poker with him and used the game to teach. It prevented resistance and helped review math through small bets.
What number multiplied by itself gives you 36?
6?
It's good.
Clark became even more certain. These kids weren't unwilling to learn. They were smart. So during the break, Clark pushed forward with even more confidence. Clark asked Shamika to teach him how to jump rope. But what looked simple was not simple at all. He failed again and again. He fell more than once. But through his actions, he showed his students that effort always pays off. However, the principal didn't approve of any of this. He called Clark to his office and scolded him. He said Clark ignored the honors class to play with the worst class in school. He claimed Clark would ruin the school's reputation. Clark refused to back down. He made a bet with the principal. 6 months from now, during the graduation exam, every one of his students would pass.
I don't see how this is possible.
When Clark went back to class, he told the students about this impossible goal. He said being looked down on feels like being struck by darkness, but being struck by darkness only means you are the light. If you want a future of your own, come up and light a candle. One by one, the students stepped forward and lit their candles. In that moment, they truly believed Clark could bring them a miracle. History class was far too boring, so Clark turned the lessons into rap lyrics overnight. He used music to teach them and swept away the dullness of the subject. The students quickly followed his rhythm. Everyone was fully engaged. Even the honors class next door envied them. He also used his breaks to tutor the weakest student in the class, and his efforts paid off. In the monthly exams, 90% of his students earned an A+. What Clark gave and what the students gave back finally met in the middle, and it brought results worth celebrating. But new problems soon appeared. Shamika, once the biggest troublemaker, was actually the most gifted student. Lately, however, she had stopped turning in homework. When Clark visited her home, he finally learned the truth. After school, Shamika had to take care of her 3 younger brothers because her mother was working. For a 12-year-old, the job was overwhelming. She couldn't handle both childcare and homework, so Clark helped her with the chores. He gave her time to finish her assignments. He even prepared dinner for her. But when her mother came home, she took Clark's kindness as an insult.
You don't think I can take care of my family, Mr. Clark?
No. Yes.
She went to the principal and accused Clark of interfering. She said ordinary people should live ordinary lives. School would not change the fate of a poor family. She threatened him, either expel Clark, or she would take her daughter to another school.
Please don't fire Mr. Clark. He was just trying to help me, Mama. He was just trying to help.
It's okay.
Hearing the sincerity in Shamika's voice, Clark became even more determined. He promised her mother that Shamika had real talent. Knowledge might not rewrite destiny completely, but doing nothing guarantees failure.
Maybe Miss Benton can keep the boys a little longer every day.
Okay.
Clark kept working day after day, and the students grew to respect him more and more. Their grades improved with each passing week, but the long hours began to take a toll on him. The graduation exam was less than a month away. He couldn't walk away now. After pushing himself beyond his limit again and again, Clark finally collapsed. At first, the students thought he was joking, but when he didn't move, panic spread through the room. They watched the ambulance take him away. No one left the window. They had already come to see him as family. After the doctors examined him, they told him something shocking, a piece of news that could change his entire life. Want to know what happened next? Follow me. I'll update the story soon.